Hey, it's Paul Omahony here, and today I'm going to address the question, why do I constantly seem to procrastinate? Why do I always put things off? Before I get started, if you find that this video is giving you some really powerful insights and you want to learn more and get deeper into the topic, make sure you go to rethinktimemanagement.com, where I have a free training for you there that will delve into these issues in a lot more detail. So procrastination, what is it? Well, simply put, it's putting things off for a future date. Something that ideally you think you'd like to get done today, but you constantly put it off. Like what? Well, the perfect examples are, I'm going to join the gym next week. I'm going to start my diet on Monday. I'm going to start saving next Wednesday. Or I'm going to start saving after I get my next payment from my job. Right? So why do we constantly go from month to month, constantly having that approach and then wondering why you do that? Well, here's the thing. It comes down to something that's much deeper. It comes down to something that's within you, that's unique to you, and that is your values. Right, the things that you value the most are the things that you're always going to prioritize. The things that you don't have any value on, you're ultimately going to go to the bottom of your to-do list. So let's talk about that for a moment. So think about somebody that you know who is extremely fit, extremely healthy, and you know they're kind of a role model in terms of fitness and health. What do they do consistently every single day, or at least every other day, right? They eat well, they exercise well, they make it a habit and a routine of focusing on having a pristine body and being in shape, okay? And what about the people who procrastinated? They don't. It's quite simple. But the thing is, health for that person is very high in their values, okay? So what you need to start to think about is, in order for you to, especially if you want to stop procrastinating as a habit, you need to first of all assess right now, what are those things that you feel that you're procrastinating on? And just write them all down. Okay, write down those things that you feel that you're procrastinating. Okay? And then what I'd like you to do is to write down these 7 particular areas. All right, these 7 words: physical, financial, spiritual, social, mental, vocational, and family. And while we're at it, let's add in an 8th. Let's add in fun. Okay, so physical, financial, spiritual, social, mental, vocational, family, and fun. Now, if we write all of these down, okay, what I'd like you to start to think about in terms of which of these areas right now are a focal point in your life. So as a teenager, social is going to be right up there at the top. In your 20s, we go from social to getting a vocation, getting out of the house, getting away from your parents. In your 30s, it's about family. In your 40s, for men, it can be about physical health. For women, it's often about mental growth. In your 50s, finances becomes a problem because we can see an end in sight of our income, but we can't see an end in sight for our expenses. In our 60s, spirituality becomes a focal point. Then in our 70s, often it's back to family who need to take care of us. But from your perspective, where you are at this point in time in your life, there are certain things that you value the most. So where do you spend most of your time right now? Where do you put most of your energy? Okay, what do you talk about a lot? What do you constantly think about? What are you grateful for? Last thing at night and first thing in the morning, what are the predominant thoughts that fill your mind? If you work in a job right now, or maybe you have a business and you work in a cubicle, what pictures do you surround yourself with? Are the pictures of your family? Are the pictures of your gym plan for the week, of your financial freedom tactics that you're going to be following? Right? Which of those? Because that's a huge clue as to where your focus is right now. How do you label yourself when other people speak to you? Okay, do you tell them you're a personal trainer? Are you an entrepreneur or a CEO? Or do you define yourself by your religion? Okay, so these things are really important, but the biggest thing that will tell you immediately what you're valuing the most in these areas right now is how you spend your money. If you go through your bank statements for the last 3 months and label every single line item in terms of your spend that you can see, label them from 1 to 8, physical, financial, spiritual, social, mental, vocational, family, and fun. If you chart that and graph that, you'll see exactly where your focus is at this point in your life in terms of how you spend your money. You will always spend your money in line with your highest values. and you're always going to spend your time on what you're spending your money on. So think about that. You're always going to change the way you see time and perceive time to put your focus on the things you value the most, and you're going to procrastinate and push out the things you value the least. So if you want to shift in your own mindset the things that you're currently procrastinating, you need to value those more. Right? And that's what I'm trying to get to here. So I could talk about this literally for hours and hours and hours. And by the way, if you want to look at this in more depth, feel free to go to rethinktimemanagement.com. But what we want to talk about here is, how can I take this thing I'm procrastinating and make it a dominant thought process and something I want to focus on right now? Well, you actually need to make some sort of a realignment in terms of your values and your focal point. So what you could do is let's say you want to get fitter and healthier, right? And you want to have physical health right up there, that you stop procrastinating, that you're going to join the gym, you're going to eat better, and it starts today. What I'd write down is this, a little exercise that says something like this. I will be, right, write down a specific weight, okay, and write down a specific heart rate, okay, so specific weight, a specific heart rate, and I am going to look absolutely amazing. Okay, so by a specific date. Okay, so say I'm going to weigh, let's say, 70 kilograms. I'm going to have a resting heart rate of 55 beats per minute, and I'm going to have a six-pack by the 31st of December, end of this year, so that. And then you write out 100 positive things that will emanate from that. 100. Now I know that sounds like a lot, so what we'll do is we'll break it out into 8 of those areas, doing 12 each to begin with. So what are the benefits of you doing this from a physical standpoint? Okay, what are the benefits? Well, number one, so that I will be eating the right food, so I will feel amazing. Okay. Number 2, so that my energy will be at an all-time high. Okay. Number 3, so that I create a fantastic example for my children, so that they will also want to be physically healthy. So that there are kind of 3 to get you going. Then let's say vocational, for example. So you're what you do in a day-to-day business, in business or in work. I want to be in this shape by this date, so that I will be way more productive in work because I'll have higher energy. Okay. So that I'll have worked out first thing in the morning, so that when I get into work, I'm already ahead of the game in terms of my health. And then you can move it into broader things like family, and talk about the impacts on your family. You can talk about it from a financial perspective, all that extra money that you can potentially get because you'll be more efficient at work, you'll be more efficient at home, you'll have more time in your hands to focus on things that will help you financially. And you go through those 100 different things. And then you look at the exact same goal, okay, and why you're going to do that, and then you look at the other side, the flip side, the or else. So if I don't do this, or else, what is the downside? Or else I'm going to have major health issues for the rest of my life, okay? Or else it's going to cost me an absolute fortune from health insurance or from getting treatments for the rest of my life. Or else I'm going to constantly have low energy and be complaining and constantly feeling lack of motivation every single morning. And when you go to the effort of writing out all 200 reasons, you'll realize that not only from a positive perspective, but also from a negative perspective, if you don't do this, you are going to be dramatically hindered by the fact that you don't this. You're going to be less productive, less effective, less efficient. People aren't going to want to be around you as much. But if you do it, you'll actually become radiant. People will want to be around you. You'll be high in energy. You'll be able to spend more time with your kids, with your grandkids. You'll have a reason to be alive. You'll feel amazing. You'll have higher energy, and you'll act as an inspiration to others. So that's just one specific example that I'm giving you that will allow you to stop procrastinating what you currently always put on hold, and will allow you to bring it right into something that you're going to do immediately, so that you get a great reaction and a great response ultimately. So if you find this useful and you'd like to share this with somebody else, please share, please tag somebody else in, please like, and please comment.